Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV Whiskey 1, Good Vibrations. I have received a question concerning power supplies for electronics hobbyists. Do I have any recommendations for power supplies for electronics hobbyists? It's a rather vague question and difficult to answer because I have a lot of questions in return. But when I'm doing electronics experiments, I like to rely on batteries and cells, electrochemical batteries and cells for power supplies, 1.5 volt flashlight cells, or combinations in series thereof, 6 volt, quote, lantern batteries, unquote, or similar, or my venerable standby 12 volt marine battery, which is rechargeable and has a 35 ampere hour capacity. I like to rely on batteries for power supplies, and I assume that this person wants a low voltage power supply, isn't dealing in high voltage equipment. But for anything 12, well, you can connect 2 of those 12 volt batteries in series and get 24 volts, I guess, roughly. But my recommendation for power supplies is twofold. First and foremost, try to stick with batteries whenever you can. Batteries and cells, meaning the kind that don't require any wall plug-in, wall outlet. You can use them anywhere you want. Some of them are rechargeable, some of them aren't. I guess the best technologies these days are the lithium technologies, particularly lithium iron phosphate cells and batteries, I believe they're called. Those are rechargeable and they tend not to catch fire and things like that. Barring that, I really don't want to get into product recommendations too much. When I was at ARRL headquarters in the technical department, I did review a couple of power supplies, but that was 40 years ago or something. But, you know, DC is DC then and now, and I'm assuming low voltage DC power supplies is what this experimenter wants. You can't go too far wrong with a corporation called MFJ Enterprises. Mike, Foxtrot, Juliet, or as the junk sometimes goes, the junk, I'm getting ahead of myself. As the joke sometimes goes, they call them mighty fine junk. Well, I've never had a bad experience with anything made from MFJ Enterprises. Just Google on that as a phrase if you don't know their website, and I don't offhand know it. And they have an online product catalog, and they offer a wide variety of gear for ham radio operators. Very interesting and versatile place to go, and a very popular corporation. They're in Mississippi. I think that's what the M stands for. But in phonetics, they are Mike, Foxtrot, Juliet Enterprises. You need a wall outlet. You know, you got to plug them in and you got to rely on all that kind of thing. So my preference is just plain old cells and batteries. And if they're not rechargeable when they run out, you have to discard them environmentally friendly way. If they're rechargeable, recharge them when they get low. But that's my recommendation for the electronics hobbyist and experimentalist. Batteries. Batteries, batteries, batteries. You can get them at the grocery store, or you can get them at a sophisticated electronics store and pay more. They're all over the place. The world is inundated with them. There's some cheap ones and some expensive ones, some pretty ones and some ugly ones. And it's time for Stan Gibilisco to shut up and get back to his nap. Couldn't you tell? That's my answer. What's yours? I'll leave comments open, but please stay on topic. What do you recommend for experimentalist power supplies? Again, please stay on topic. We can't talk about the weather as much as we'd like to. We can't talk about antennas right now as much as we like to, unless you want to try and key an antenna with, oh, shut up, Stanley, shut up. 73 and so long, which, in my native fist, no matter what kind of power supply is being used, translates to so long, da-da-da-da-da-da.